We're going to begin a standing series starting with footwork. For our footwork, we're actually just going to roll the feet out using a trigger ball. Any ball that you have, lacrosse ball, tennis ball, pool ball, you're going to put it under your foot, seated. Let's begin with your dominant foot and rolling out the feet just to get into those feet, loosen up the fascia. If you have KLP or LP, you'll probably notice a little more tenderness in the medial part of the foot. If you have flat back, you're going to notice the metatarsals, maybe a little more laterally and central tight. Sway back, we're going to feel more of the lateral intrinsic muscles of the feet are going to be very tight. So just roll into those feet, getting into that fascia, loosening it up for our standing series so that we can find our balance as we move through various planes of motion. So this can be done seated or standing, whatever you'd prefer. Hear your breath, really dig in. You can push down as hard as you can tolerate, and it feels like a good stretch and release for those feet. Go ahead and switch sides. So we'll be here for a minute. I'm just going to talk you through what we're going to be doing next. After this, we're going to move over to a wall, and our arms are going to come up into a diamond shape overhead. We'll start with our dominant arm, and we're going to pull it all the way down to the side of the body and then back up to that diamond. Now, as you're doing this, I don't want the arm to move away from the wall. I want it to slide and stay imprinting along the wall. And you're going to also try to keep your upper back imprinting. So you'll stand right by the wall. Feet can be hip distance apart. Let's make our way to the wall now. And as we're working, notice the areas that are really disconnecting from the wall. So with the arms in a nice diamond, we'll begin on our dominant arm side, pulling the elbow all the way to the side of the body and then back up to that high diamond. So the arm that is not moving, is it leaving the wall or moving forward as that arm comes down? See if you can really stabilize it there, and then inhale to lift. So as that arm goes up, I want you to feel the pelvis pull down in opposition. Your torso lengthens. As the arm comes down, your inner thighs pull back towards the wall, so you're standing up nice and tall. Keep that going. It's a great way to open up the front of the shoulders and really find your upper back so that your posture can improve, especially from the upper thoracic. Notice if you're holding, hear your breath. And especially that mid and upper back, I want you to really imprint it into the wall, like you're trying to create a snow angel. You're pushing your whole upper back into the wall. Keep that going. Just another 15 seconds here. Breathe. And let's go to the non-dominant side. We'll be on the non-dominant side a little longer than the dominant side. This side's a lot harder to do correctly. There's going to be more compensations. So notice, if this feels easy, you may not be imprinting your upper back. You may be kind of allowing the chest to spray forward. And the whole point is to find the imprint. So your tailbone, your mid-back, your upper back, the back of the head, the back of the arms on the wall, the knuckles, the wrist. I often see the hands popping forward. There's a lot of tension in the hands. See if you can soften the wrists and all your fingers and get full contact. Imagine bringing the front ribs to the wall behind you, closing them off, plugging the shoulders down. Another 45 seconds here. If at any point you need to just fold your upper back forward because you're fatiguing, feel free to do that. But this is meant to build a lot of strength and even out that upper back strength. So that's why we're spending a little longer on our non-dominant side. Keep going. And this doesn't have to be done quickly. It can be a very slow tempo, inhaling as you lift slowly. And make sure the lift you're not checking out. The lift, there should still be engagement of the core and the imprint. Don't lose the imprint as you lift the arm back up. It's easier sometimes to engage as we pull down because we feel that lat that attaches under the armpit. But on the way up, I want you to also feel that pressure back. 3 more here at a nice slow tempo. And after we complete that, we're going to take our lightest loop band around our wrists, and we're going to stand by a wall, bar, or counter for safety purposes. We're going to be stepping to balance in the frontal plane. And your arms, you're going to pull out on the band, just chest height to engage the upper back here. And I just want you to step to knee flexion, the knee flexion that we did during our lower body series. So for everybody but flat back posture, you'll be stepping to knee flexion with a pointed foot. Let's step onto our dominant leg to start. Step onto the dominant leg, non-dominant leg lifts up to knee flexion, stepping to the side in the frontal plane and finding knee flexion, forward knee flexion, holding it up, pointing the toes, breathing, inhale 1. And if you have flat back, just dorsiflex your foot, exhale 1, stay here, inhale. And exhale, 1 more breath, inhale. And exhale, lowering that foot, same side, stepping to the side onto that same foot and lifting the other foot up. So you're stepping to the side, to knee flexion, finding it, hold it there, pointing the toes, inhale 1, exhale 1, dorsiflexing if you have flat back, inhale 2. Now if you have flat back and sway back, tip your tailbone back so you have a little extension in the pelvis. If you have lordosis, you can keep your pelvis tucked under, pull your abs in tight, hold it here, and let's go to the second side. So with the band around the wrist, we're pulling out to engage the shoulders, the back of the shoulders, lift your chin up a little higher, and now we'll turn around so that when we step towards that wall, bar, or counter, we can grab it if we need to with the hands. So stepping to the side again, to knee flexion on the other leg, find the balance. Again, tip your tailbone back if you have sway back or flat back, dorsiflex the foot. Point the toes if you have KLP or LP. Plug your shoulders down. Breathe. 1 more breath and repeat. Last time. Stepping to balance in the frontal plane. Finding it immediately. Knee flexion. Core tight. Proper pelvic position for your posture. Extension if you have sway back and flat back. Neutral or flexion if you have KLP or LP. Bring the head up onto the spine. Close those front ribs. Deep inhale. And long exhale. Okay, from here, let's move into some flexibility. We're going to go over to the wall for a pec major and calf stretch. What I'd like you to do is face the wall first, bringing your arm into a T, so your chest is basically on the wall. You're going to twist away from that dominant arm. And once your whole body has twisted away, you're going to step the same leg as that arm back for a calf stretch. So the arm is in a T, so it's the same height as the shoulder. You'll twist away from that arm, and then you're going to step the same leg as that arm back for a calf stretch for your gastrocnemius. So same leg as the arm on the wall back into the calf stretch. Pelvis drives forward, chin lifts up onto the spine. Pull those low abs in. Breathing here, inhale. And exhale. Good. Now, like when we were sitting in that chair for the hip flexor stretch, stay in the posture. I want your pelvis to ground down a little bit more so that you deepen into that calf stretch. And as the pelvis pulls down, I still want the pelvis to pull forward a little bit more so that you get more of a stretch as you drive that back heel to the floor. If you have hyperextension in your elbows, make sure you're softly bending the elbows so that we're getting into the fascia and not into the joints. Watch out for the chin dropping. Breathe here, inhale. And exhale, turning back to face the wall. Let's put our non-dominant arm up on the wall in a T, twisting away from it, then taking that same leg back into your calf stretch. Plug the shoulders down. So this is a 2-for-1 stretch for your pec major and your gastrocnemius. The calves are always important to stretch, and the pecs are very important posturally to stretch to improve kyphosis so that we don't have that rounding in the front of the shoulders. Another 20 seconds here. Since this is our non-dominant side, it's probably not going to need as much time. Hang in there, hear your breath. Close your eyes if you need to relax your mind for a second. You can breathe into your belly, diaphragmatic breathing. to relax the nervous system. This can be really helpful. If you find yourself falling a lot, diaphragmatic breathing can help relax the body. So doing some diaphragmatic breathing before you get up can help with the feet shuffling and losing balance. One more breath here. And good job.